All right, shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all for being in this one, man. Much love to the fam. Shout out to FanDuel, the official sponsor of the show. Please feel free to get your prop bets in at FanDuel, man. Big Q representing the mighty Who Dat Nation. Hit the like button, the sub button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell for future updates on the Black and Gold. Very busy time for us. We got one for you. Saints Hell pre-draft workout for Zachariah Branch. Shout out to PFT for the scoop. And listen, family, we know that the Saints are looking for help in the special teams. We know kick return, punt return was a problem for the Saints. They signed a punter. So the special teams is a point of contention for the Black and Gold going into this. And you can see by how the Saints are moving that they're doing a due diligence across a bunch of people in terms of what they're looking for. And I'm just saying, like we've seen a really spectacular draft that we've seen last year for the Saints. They are moving very confidently. They know what their issues are, and they're attacking them one by one. So in this one, man, could we be looking at a potential kick returner of the future? Perhaps a new Rashid Shaheed type and Zachariah Branch. Let's get into it as the Saints worked him out. And if it's so the Saints have, as we talked about here before, needing help in the special teams room. And per Phil Yates of ESPN New Orleans recently held a private workout with former Georgia receiver Zachariah Branch. And Yates notes that Branch workout with New Orleans included some punt return work. So you can see where we're at there. Branch, who's 21, spent the entire 25 season with the Georgia Bulldogs after a pair of years at USC. He led the SEC with 81 catches last year, going for 811 yards and 6 touchdowns. He also returned 15 punts and averaged 12 yards on each. As a freshman at USC in 2023, Branch led the nation with almost 21-yard average on 16 punts, one going for a touchdown. He also averaged over 18 yards per kick return, bringing one back for a TD as well. So very interesting for Zachariah Branch. And it'll be interesting to see how he kind of handles that going forward. But it's pretty interesting, man. You can look at here and see that he also ran a 4.35 in the 40-yard dash at the combine. So he's super quick. And in his 37 career college games, he caught over 150 passes for 1,600 plus yards and 9 touchdowns. And Zachariah Branch is looking to be the next player somewhere in the third round the Saints possibly could be looking at. This could be something. We'll see where he folds and where he goes, but in the end, it's a very smart move by the Black and Gold. Now, here's the NFL scouting combine on the scouting report from the combine in other areas of his college career from Yardbarker, right? He's one of the most explosive wide receiver prospects in the draft, electrifying speed that makes him a threat to score every time he touches the ball, despite ideal size, has big playability, could make him a top 50 selection. Now, we know the Saints have 5 picks in the first 4 rounds. That could be fun. 5'10", 180 pounds. He's 21. And this is what they say about his strengths. Blink and you'll miss him. Has the power of teleportation. I like that. Disappearing from a dead stop on the quick screen and reanimating as a blur in the secondary. Never heard a scouting report as vivid as that. You can tell this guy is a comic book guy or whatever, but I love that breakdown. Heads into the end zone. His straight line speed can create big plays over the top after the catch, while his short area burst and fluidity makes him a headache for would-be tacklers in open field. Branch is more than just pure speed, though. His combination of body control, strong hands allow him to make contested catches you wouldn't usually associate with a smaller speed receiver. His explosiveness, agility, vision, instincts make Branch a dangerous weapon in the return game, too. Now, what was said about his weaknesses, it's going to be no surprise. They're going to say his size, right? No surprise at all. It's his size. But Branch can struggle against the bigger, more physical corners when faced with press coverage at the line of scrimmage. And the same difficulties present themselves when he's trying to fight through contact at the top of his routes when those defenders stay sticky. His nuance and polish as a route runner needs some work, and his undersized frame makes it difficult for Branch to be effective as a downfield blocker. Durability concerns will be present for a receiver at his size as well. That's fair. The analysis is, at worst, Branch's elite speed and good breaking ability with the ball in his hands should make a massive impact on the return game. and that's a secondary option in the NFL passing game. But there's also a path to wide receiver one impact in the same way that Tyreek Hill found it. Wow. Where Branch is, and you can see some similarities to the game. Of course, Branch will have to bulk up a little bit, get a little stronger to deal with the game, and I have no doubt that he will get stronger. While Branch's route running skills develop, and he becomes a go-to target and a legit superstar in the right spot. And the right spot is a wide open offense that will get him the ball down the field. Now, the NFL draft projections has him as a day two, maybe a second or third round prospect. I think third round will probably more than likely be the spot for Zachariah Branch. Now, we'll have to see exactly where the Saints go in terms of what areas of the draft would they do in the first and the first and the second round. Could there be a wide receiver, maybe a DB early, depending on how the draft board falls? Because I can very well see, with the New Orleans Saints, first round pick being the DB, second round being the defensive end, third rounder being a wide receiver. I could see something like that rolling. But then again, like I said, depends on how your board falls for you, right? Also, to keep it on the special teams list, the 2026 return specialist prospects, Zachariah Branch is listed as one of the top ones. Don't forget, there's also LSU Barion Brown. He's a track star, has super fast, has big playability. Had some big catches for LSU. In for the team. Now he could go as a day three steal, maybe a day three steal as well. But Barion Brown from LSU, track star speed, about the same size around what you'll see from Zachariah Branch. Jadarian Price is also another guy that could serve as a premier kick returner who led the country in 2025 with the 37.5-yard average and 2 touchdowns. Scouts view him as a top returner in the nation, with the added benefit of being a high-end running back prospect. So the Saints could look at Jadarian Price. I think he'll be going somewhere between rounds 2 and 3. Like I said, I think this guy is a hell of a running back. We heard with Jeremiah Love talked about him when he made mention of him, how good he was. Also, Caleb Downs is also another guy to talk about the top tier. He's the best DB in the draft. He's also a really solid, some consider him elite level punt returner, averaged over 21.5 yards in a return game, but in limited action, he also had a touchdown. So that is also something the Saints could look at too, as Caleb Downs. KC Concepcion, the fantastic wide receiver from Texas A&M, slot wide receiver, great speed, all American honors as a returner. He's noted for his exceptional running skills and his great agility. Caden Wetjen from Iowa, he's a wide receiver frequently mentioned by analysis, one of the most pure punt return specialists in the country. The Saints haven't talked to him. He could possibly be a guy that falls through the cracks as an undrafted guy. We'll see. And Nicholas Singleton, a running back from Penn State, who's a powerful runner who serves as a primarily kick returner, but Singleton has a proven track record of taking returns to the touchdown for touchdowns at the college level. So these are a few prospects to talk about. Like I said, Zachary Branch is a 4.35 speed guy. You also have Barion Brown, who has track level explosiveness. Jadarian Price is really good with that 37.5-yard average that he did. Concepcion is another great dynamic catch and run skill player. And Caleb Downs, a high IQ, versatile playmaker that can contribute there. But there are also notable names to talk about, including Eric Singleton from Auburn, Mekhi Lemon from USC, Denzel Boston from Washington. Those are some of the names that you could kind of talk about as well in the punt return aspect of this thing. Just giving you guys some extra game on some of these other folks that Saints might be keeping an eye on. That's who I got my scout report on. Also keeping it special teams centered. Saints among several teams to meet with Iowa kicker Drew Stevens. The Saints add competition to the kicking room. Saints not done. They got a punter that they brought in Ryan Wright. Now the Saints did sign our current kicker to a multi-year contract, but this could be an interesting caveat for his competition. Charlie Smith, right? Just 6 games into the season, he made 12-16. Love Charlie Smith. Been on the team for a couple of years. New Orleans seems to believe that Smith can be a long-term solution. They'd be wise to bring in a second kicker to create competition. So enter Iowa kicker Drew Stevens, who told NFL Draft On SI, Justin Mello, that he had lunch with the Saints after Iowa's pro day. Stevens is said to have impressed at the pro day just a few weeks after attending the 26th NFL scouting combine in Indianapolis. Now look at that. That almost looked like he wearing the Saints jersey if you change a few things, doesn't it? It looked like a Steelers jersey, and to be honest with you. The Saints could consider bringing Stevens in. Now, he played 4 seasons with the Hawkeye. He maintained 80% on his field goals, including 12 from beyond 50. And in 25, he made 4 field goals from beyond 50. His longest was a 58-yarder. He earned an 87.3 PFF field goal grade, which ranked 26 out of 250 eligible college kickers. The Saints are just one of many teams that meet with Stevens, who has also sat down with interviews with the Falcons, the Rams, the Jets, along with private workout with the Tennessee Titans. Now, the Iowa Hawkeye is PFF's 3rd highest ranked kicker in the draft class, trailing Florida's Trey Smack and BYU's Will Ferrin. These are both 2 really solid kickers. In the past year, several kickers have been picked up early in the draft. Jake Moody was selected 99 overall in 23. But it seems unlikely that will happen this year. The most likely scenario is one of these 3 kickers get chosen in the later rounds, probably the 6th. I think there's a good chance of Trey Smack and Will Ferrin being both drafted, to be honest with you. And because it's finicky with kickers, but there are teams looking for kickers. Atlanta got an old-ass kicker. He could get hurt. He don't look very healthy, but he could be there. There are other teams out there looking for kickers, solid kickers to come on the play for him. So I think 2 of the 3 could possibly be drafted, but we won't know for certain. Saints GM Mickey Loomis and the rest of the front office might consider using one of their final draft picks on Stevens or another kicker in the class. New Orleans has picked 190 in the 6th round, which would be an ideal spot. They can also wait until the draft concludes in hopes of using a draft capital on a higher impact position while still bringing in a player to compete with Smith. They can also more than likely be a team that picks them up, like in the undrafted ranks. Saints are very good. And, we don't talk about it enough how really good the Saints are in getting undrafted talent here and turning them into solid contributors. They're really good at that, and they consistently do that well. Could this be this kicker? Time will tell. All right, that's all I got for y'all guys. Shout out to you. You tell me what you think about Zachariah Branch, the kick return game, the prospects that I threw at you. What about this kicker? How do you like him? Tell me all you have to say. Fill the comment section below and let me know how you guys feel. Shout out to FanDuel, the official sponsor of the show. Get your prop bets in at FanDuel. All you betting at FanDuel. Check the app. With that being said, man, hit the like button, the sub button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell as well for updates on all this stuff. It's a lot of news and prospect talk. So if you can get your news, one source is the Saints Authority here at the Sports Coma. Y'all guys hit that notification bell and I will deliver. With that being said, I'll be back with another one. Much love, peace, and who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
Hey, New Orleans! Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with thewhodatdaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit thewhodatdaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.